The Turkey Valley Trojans are now 2-0 after a double overtime win at Don Bosco last Friday night. We're with Trojan coach Mark Scott. And coach, I know you only got to play a quarter in week number one. You kind of made up for that last week with an exciting victory. I guess you go down to the team that has really set the standard for success in 8-man football over the past decade. And getting a win at Gilbertville is not an easy thing, but your kids got it done. How'd you get it done?
Well, I mean, we got a couple breaks, but we turned it over a couple of times. But we played hard. The kids fought well. They executed pretty well. It was a hard fought game back and forth, and I think we kind of warmed down a little bit toward the end.
And you look at how the game went going into an overtime situation like that. I know you had an overtime game last year. In your experience of coaching high school football, what do overtime games really get down to? Is it simple execution? Who has more energy? Who has the 1-2 at that time? Can you pinpoint a reason?
Yeah, a lot of times it's a team that came from behind that has the momentum coming into it to tie it up. So they're a little more juiced. So that sometimes plays into the factor, I think, but conditioning and then just pure execution. And quite honestly, you need a break in there sometimes too,
And you look at your team offensively, looks like you've been able to establish multiple guys that can do things to help you move the football. Noah Hansen, a pretty good night at quarterback. 4 guys touching the ball, rushing the football, 4 guys on the receiving end of the ball. Do you feel that you have kind of established multiple threats through the first 2 weeks offensively?
Yeah, we knew going in we had multiple athletes that could, get the job done when it comes to, offensively. Noah did a great job, and actually it says that the stat line will show he threw 2 interceptions, but one of those was a Hail Mary at the end of regulation. We just, go for it and see what happens. And, and ended up they caught it instead of us. And just threw it, 50-50 ball. And we were not wrong 50. But, that so he did a really nice job other than that. I mean, that stat line is not quite as accurate as it looks like.
And obviously, anytime you beat Don Bosco, it's a big win, and you're going to get a lot of attention for that win. How did you transition from appreciating what the kids were able to accomplish last Friday night, but now getting them refocused because there's a lot more work to do this season?
Yeah, so we tried to emphasize that was that was us beating Don Bosco was last week's news. So district play for us starts this week. We haven't had a district game yet, so this is where those 2 games are nice wins, but in reality, this is where, if you want to go on, this is where we got to refocus. And Rockford's got some athletes, and, we're going to have to become prepared.
And I know Rockford, a team you were able to beat last year out at their place. What impresses you the most about this Rockford squad?
They have a couple of nice kids in the backfield, and they got some nice size linemen up front, and they got got 2 kids that are pretty, big one big tight end, and the other one's a little fast kid, quick athletic kid. So they got some weapons. I mean, they got their tailback's about 200 pounds, 200 plus. He moves well, keeps his feet well. We'll have to make sure we wrap up when we run into him.
All right, Coach, keep your kids healthy. Hopefully it's 3-0 after this Friday night. We wish you best luck.
Thanks, dear.
Trojans at Rockford this Friday night.